Most PT advice online is theoretical, but the real exam behaves differently. That's why every class here is based on real exam experiments conducted by me. In this session, you will learn practical techniques, powerful templates, and proven structures you can apply immediately. This is the most practical class for summarized group discussion. Why summarized group discussion matters to you? Number one, it gives you up to 18 marks score in speaking. The maximum score in speaking is 90, and this supplies 18 marks, up to 18 marks, 17 to 18 marks. It supplies in speaking. If that's not enough, you will get 18 marks in listening. So this task is important for getting the desired score in speaking and listening both. In the real examination, you get minimum 2 questions, maximum 3 questions. Matter of fact, in my previous examination, which is 1.5, 2 months back, I got 3 questions from summarized group discussion. So on the exam day, it appears like this. It is going to come on 22-inch monitor in the real test. And here is the PT exam name, and here is your name on the top right hand side. In this section, you will have the question status. And this is instruction. What the instruction says, you will hear 3 people having a discussion. When you hear beep, summarize the whole discussion. You will have 10 seconds to prepare and 2 minutes to give your response. So 3 people will discuss something. They will have a conversation on anything related to university. I'll give you examples. This discussion can be related to anything to university. Let's say university placements or university assignments, time management, maybe the newly opened gym, or it's about a library, it's about a garden, it's about the newly constructed classroom, it can be about a field trip, it can be anything that is related to university or university setting. Okay. So this is how, that is the genre of the discussion. How long is the discussion? The discussion can be anywhere. These 3 people discussion can be anywhere between 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. It will last for 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. What is the gender ratio in this discussion? In this discussion, there are 3 speakers. Hence, there will be 2 speakers of same gender and 1 opposite gender. Let's say there are 2 female speakers possible and 1 male speaker. Other way, what is it? 2 male speakers and 1 female speaker. So there is no possibility of maintaining gender equality here. So 2 plus 1. Who are these speakers? The speakers can be either the students of the university or they are the staff of the university. How much time do you get to summarize or brief the discussion? You get 2 minutes time to brief the discussion. Once you hear it, so first will be conversation. Once the conversation is finished after 2.5 minutes, you will have, or 3 minutes, you will have what? 10 seconds of preparation time. After 10 seconds of preparation time, you get what? 2 minutes of recording time. So it's not necessary for you to use complete 2 minutes. Any answer in the range of 1 minute, 30 seconds to, let's say, close to 2 minutes answer is decent answer. What is the top challenge in this task? The biggest challenge in this task for many test takers is writing perfect notes. That's something, a big challenge. Either the students write so much notes or so little notes. This is the concern. And I'm going to show you how to write notes perfectly. Now let's go to practice portal to practice one question.
3 students are talking about a community garden on campus.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming to chat. I have an idea to start a community garden on campus as our volunteering project. It could be a great way to grow fresh food and bring students together. First, we need to find a place for it. I think that empty bit of land near the library would be perfect. What do you guys think?
That sounds great. We could probably get permission to use it. How about getting the word out? I think we should use social media a lot. We can make a page for the garden, share it everywhere, and maybe ask local businesses to help with tools and seeds.
I agree, Maya. We need the campus community to know about this. We could put up posters in the cafe, the library, and in all the corridors. We'll also need volunteers to help with planting and taking care of the garden. We could ask other students to help. Maybe even get the environmental club involved, since it's about growing plants.
Good idea, Chris. We'll need all the help we can get. I'm sure other students will be happy to join. What will we grow? I think we should have a mix of vegetables, herbs, and flowers. The more variety, the better, right?
I'm not so sure. Maybe we should focus on the most useful plants for students to save money. If we grow things like tomatoes, lettuce, and herbs, people might be more interested. If we try to grow too many different things, it might be harder to manage.
I see both sides. Having a variety could be nice, but focusing on a few key plants might make it easier. How about we first see what people want to grow? We can ask around and then decide. If many people want tomatoes and herbs, we can go with that. If there's interest in other plants, we can add those too.
On the other hand, what if we ask people what they want and the list just gets too long and we won't be able to manage all those plants? And then people will be disappointed that we didn't include what they wanted. What if we start with a list of things that are easy to grow and invite people to vote for these? Then we can plant the 5 or 6 most popular.
That's a good idea. We could use the vote as part of the advertising campaign. Get people talking about it and make them feel that they have a say. We could use an online form for the vote and also ask who would like to volunteer with us to help with the garden.
That's a great idea. But before we do that, I think we need to first make sure that we can use the area near the library.
Community garden at university. 3 students are talking about it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good enough. So let's start. 3 students discussed community garden at their university. At first, the speaker one proposed having a community garden as part of their volunteering project. So he also found he had an idea of empty land which is near the library where he proposed to set up a community garden. And he was contemplating about the mix of vegetables to grow there. He wanted to grow many varieties of vegetables like herbs and flowers and everything. But it's not, he found out that it's not practical to grow everything. Then he wanted to have a list of easily growable vegetables and go for the voting and select 5, 6 types of plants that are acceptable, are desired by everybody. Responding to speaker one, speaker two said that there should be a social media page to create awareness on this and they should share it as much they can share. And she had an excellent idea that the tools and seeds can be procured from the local business owners. They may help. That's what she said. And she was particular about the kind of plants to be there in the garden. Like she wanted the most useful plants like tomatoes and lettuce, and she wanted the plants to be easy to grow. And for this opinion about the plants and voting, she wanted to use advertising. And for volunteering also, she wanted to make use of the advertising campaign or social media campaign. Responding to both speaker one and speaker two, speaker three said that there should be posters across the university, like the corridors, the cafe, and the library that create awareness. He said this help can come from three different stakeholders. One is the environment department, the other is volunteers, the other is students. So 3 of them can be of use, he said. And then he wanted everybody's opinion before planting anything. Finally, he said that there should be confirmation on lack. This is how it ended. So I said these things, whatever the notes I wrote, based on the notes, I have said something. Let's see what happens. So it is anyway going to give a little conservative score because the real exam is slightly, I think 15 to 20% lenient in terms of the content score, in terms of oral fluency score. It is not very particular like it is in describe image and detail lecture and read aloud and repeat sentence. Please understand. So even though there is some gap in the oral fluency, the score will not be heavily impacted in the real test. Okay. So I said our portal gives a very, very conservative score. That's okay. But now in the real examination, for the same answer, the score can be somewhere in the range of the rating can be on 16, it should be 15-ish rating. 15 rating should come on 16 points. Okay. So content, what exactly you have to say in the exam. So if you add up some 15-20% to it, it will be 6, right? There's no problem. So content, how it should be. Always this, I think I'll give you skeleton, right? Topic, speaker 1, speaker 2, and speaker 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. So before you start taking notes, you must have this demarcation on your erasable noteboard. On the top, you write tick, because when the audio starts, when the conversation starts, you will know what are they discussing about. There is a separate voice that comes and says that what are they discussing, what are they discussing, community garden, are they discussing, the assignments, whatever it is. The topic is something you can write like this. Please see. It is written like this, correct? Now, speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3. So S1, S2, S3 you can write down nicely. And then for every speaker, you try to gather 1, 2, 3, 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. That's it. So everything, whatever they say, you cannot write, number one. Number two, even if you write everything, you cannot include all the written points and give the answer, because you have hardly 2 minutes time, and they have spoken for more than 2 minutes. So it's difficult. And what is this? This is immortal. T, S1, S2, S3. Under every speaker, you write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But some audios, the speakers are little introvert. They don't, one of the speakers might not be saying so many points as compared to others. But in such an occasion, maybe 2, 3 points are also okay. It's not a hard and fast rule that for every speaker you have to write 4. Okay. It's not about writing so many points. It's about understanding what the person is saying, and writing the notes is important. Okay. So this is how you take the notes. So now let me show you the notes that I have taken. Please see. So what is it? Its topic is what? CG. You cannot write complete community garden. You don't have time for all that. Maybe in short, what is it? CG, can be what? Community garden, right? That's done. And then what he proposed a community garden. 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, maximum 4 points I wrote. Maybe that's the thing. But otherwise, he said so many things, and everything you cannot write. So only writing words cannot help you. You must understand what that person is trying to say, so that you can write it in a short fashion. Otherwise, it's difficult. Now, look at the other one. Empty land he identified near the library. He wanted to grow vegetables, herbs, and the flowers, right? And list of easy to grow vegetables he wanted to identify, and he wanted to go with the voting process for people to decide what they want to have in the garden, right? So he wanted people to select. So this is done. So you will talk about the topic, then you will say what the speaker 1 said, then you will now start talking about what speaker 2 said. So responding to speaker 1, right? Speaker 2 said what? Social media page is necessary to promote the initiative, right? And the tools and seeds, she wanted to get help from the local business. You cannot write business, BUSINESS. You don't have time now. Wherever possible, you use shortcuts like this, biz and all. Most useful plants, she felt, in her opinion, were tomatoes and lettuce, right? And I wrote short form, right? And then she wanted to have the useful plants and easy to grow plants. So that is something I wrote. And she wanted to conduct voting with people using the advertising platforms and all. That is something I remember I said, right? And then speaker 3, what he said, the posters he wanted across the university, like cafe and in library, in corridors, everywhere he wanted. And he wanted to fundamentally take the help of the volunteers, environmental department, and then students. These are the relevant people that are suitable for the help in this particular project, he said. And he wanted to take people's opinion and on what plants they want to have in the garden, right? And then at last he said what? There should be confirmation on land. Can we use the land or not? That kind of confirmation he wanted. So like this, you can write notes, but if you fill it with so much of stuff, you will have problem in delivering it smoothly. Number two, you have to rush your points. There can be half sentences in between, which impact the quality of the answer, which is not recommended. The feedback part, you see. What is the virtual trainer saying? in our portal. This is my portal, guys. You get virtual trainers feedback. You'd see content feedback, what this person has given, what this virtual trainer gave you. The response effectively captures the main ideas discussed by the students, including proposal for the community garden and the discussion on types of plants to grow. It mentions various strategies for promoting the garden, such as using social media posters, which reflects a good understanding of group discussion. Okay, social media and posters I include. Okay. To improve, ensure that summary flows more logically. Consider a brief conclusion that encapsulates the overall sentiment of the discussion. Probably it is asking me to say towards the end that 3 students were equally excited about their community garden, something like that it wanted me. Probably such feedback is so much valuable when you are facing tasks like summarized group discussion. See, if you get only the number feedback like this, it is not bad, but it is not great at the same time, because you don't know, you got some 4.2 or 5 or 5.5 you got. You are cool. Okay. But now somebody has to tell you what you did well, what can be improved. That's going to be invaluable, right? Excellent it will be. Now, let's say the oral fluency 3.5, guys. I'm telling you, in the real examination, the oral fluency assessed by assessed by AI, right? It assesses oral fluency, I think 15-20% more liberally, right? Because it wants more fluency in read aloud, repeat sentence, to some extent in detailed lecture and describe image. Coming to this task, it does not expect you to be as fluent as you were in the other tasks. And matter of fact, for this and the respond to situation, both things do not demand so much of oral fluency. Okay, so it's fine. Moderately, you are able to get the score. Please see oral fluency. The response had a reasonable flow, but it could benefit from smoother transition between the point phases, like on one side, on one hand, on the other hand. Additionally, certain connectors can be useful, but I tested in the real examination. Using them can be handy, but without using them also, if you have good content, you will get the score, no problem. Sometimes sentences are a bit choppy. It says, yes, they were choppy because it happens in summarized group discussion, because you're processing a lot of information and writing notes and speaking. This happens, which affects the oral fluency. Practicing speaking in longer, more connected sentences can help you improve this. Excellent suggestion. I think one should follow this. Pronunciation, the clarity of words is generally good, but some phrases were slightly unclear, which could confuse listeners. Practicing tricky words like community garden, local business could help. Pay attention to stress, intonation. So stress is nothing but, guys, when you are pronouncing an important word, you will stress it. For example, community garden, posters, polls, land, okay, help, okay, volunteers, students, environmental department, something like that. So so the stressing is good. See, otherwise I'm sitting in a room where there's a lot of echo in this room, right? And that is one of the reasons why it is not able to record it properly. But in the real exam, you will be sitting in the test center. You are going to have a privilege of using very high-end headphones, like the sophisticated headphones, which are like, if you buy outside, I think in Indian currency, they cost you 25,000 rupees. It's such a high-tech headphones you get in the exam. There's no problem. Your voice will be excellently captured. Don't worry. Pay attention to stress, all these things it says. I think it's a decent answer, guys. Okay. So why it is, I think, some 4 marks lesser, 4 points lesser. So it's 4 points lesser for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that the portal is little conservative in terms of throwing the score. It gives you 15-20% lesser score. Number 1. Number 2, even if it gives score based on the normal fluency conditions, normal content criteria, it is still giving you less, because in the real exam it is further liberal, because in the real exam they will give 15-20% less critical feedback. It is going to be easy in the examination to get the marks with this fluency. So if I had answered the same question in the real examination, I would get what? Probably close to the 16 is what? Around 9 marks we discussed in the beginning. Let's go here. So it gives you what? 18 marks in listening, 17.1 marks in speaking, right? So which means this 16, let's imagine there are 2 questions in the exam. That means what? 8 plus 8 marks, correct? 8 in speaking, 8 in listening, let's assume, okay, based on the score we saw. So the 16 is 8. Okay, 16 points are equivalent to generally 8 marks if there are 2 questions. Okay, so I should have received what on the scale of 8, 7.5, 8 marks I should have received in the real examination, both in speaking, both in listening. 7.5, 8 in speaking, 7.5, 8 in listening I should have received if I delivered the same answer in the real examination. I don't say this task is tough. It takes a bit of time. So, for example, when PT has introduced this task in exam, I mean, when they revealed it in July 2025, I think I spent a week's time understanding the task because I was not taking anybody's training, right? This is a new thing. I had to work on my own. I have used all the inputs and I started learning the task. I took some 4 or 5 days time at least to get comfortable with the process of answering and everything. See, I've been doing PT training from the last 13 years. If I took say, let's say 5, 6 days, 7 days to get slightly comfortable with summarized group discussion. Now, if you are very much new to PT, you may take, I'm not saying everybody should take more time. With all the information available, inputs available, proven technique, I took the test. I have followed the same process, same template I used in the exam, got a 90, right? Telling you, of course, you will not take more time because you are not first time users. I already done the experiment, invented the template, went to the text, got 90, then teaching you. So you will take probably slightly lesser time, yes or no? So give yourself some time. I know my observation says that a student who practices this question, maybe daily, a couple of questions you practice for 1 week. After 1 week, you will see a measurable improvement in your progress. Right? You will start getting comfortable. You will start feeling that sense of confidence. Everything. It will take 1 week daily, 2, 3 to 3. You keep practicing, then you will get to see some improvement. Now, template time. Let's look at it. So this is template, simplest template for summarized group discussion. It starts like this. The three speakers discussed what is the topic basically, what is the agenda of their discussion, you will say there. And during the discussion, speaker one said, so whatever speaker one said, let's say speaker one said, they have to have a community garden for the collaboration and for their volunteering work, all of that. And he even said this, he said that, or he felt this, he opined this, something like that. You can keep what you call uttering those 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Finish. Then while the speaker two stated, stated, anything is fine. Said this, initially he said this, then he said this, then he even said this. Also, he was of the opinion this should be done. Something like that. Responding to both, speaker three said what he said. First point, second point, third point, fourth point. Right? Based on the gender, like he for male, she for female. No need to explain that. So once third speakers is also finished, you can say ultimately they all decided to have XYZ thing. They want to do XYZ thing. Ultimately, they're all they're interested in XYZ thing. Something like that. The conclusion was missing in my answer. That something could be happily included. Okay. So this is easy to use template, guys. This template has been used in the exam and I got a 90 using the same stuff, right? You cannot really call it a PT kind of template. It's a structure that you can happily use and get the score. Quick recap of summarized group discussion. The summarized group discussion is all about listening to 2.5 to 3 minute conversation of people in the university setting. And after that, you get 10 seconds of preparation time and you get 2 minutes of summarizing time. So what you have to do, you have to summarize what you heard in the last 2.5, 3 minutes time. That's what you have to do. How many questions in the exam? Generally 2 questions. The weightage is what? 18 marks in speaking, 18 marks in listening, close to that. Speaking weightage is 17 marks. For the calculation comfort, I said 18. Listening weightage is 80, no doubt. If there are 2 questions, then per question's weightage is 9 marks. If there are 3 questions, then per question's weightage is 6 marks, basically. 6 plus 6 plus 6, 18, or 9 plus 9 is also 80. So one question, there are 2 questions, 9 each, 3 questions, 6 each. That's how the marks weightage. So the 16 is something you always have to think in that angle. 16 is what? Assessment score. It's not the marks score. All right. So the biggest thing in this summarized group discussion is notes writing. Many students are always interested in writing so much notes. You don't write so much notes. You have the structure. Topic S1, 3 to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. S2, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. S3, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Nicely, you can you can write everybody's points separately without mixing them up. If you mix them up, occasionally, maybe once it happens in a answer, there is no huge score loss. But it should not become a habit of writing one person's notes in the other thing. You have to act like one professional accountant who always is very conscious about the cost head, the revenue heads, everything, right? They don't enter the numbers in the different spots. They enter, for example, something is cost, XYZ cost, they put in the cost head only. So you have to act like a professional accounting person, right? Always segregates, like whoever says something, you attribute it to that person. Mixing up happens sometimes, but it should not become a habit, right? In the beginning, it happens, but once you practice, you will be able to come out of it. And so notes is taken like this. Once notes is taken, you can use the template that I said. Instead of calling it template, we should call it a structure kind of thing, which really helped me getting a 90 in the new PTE test when I took it on the day one of the test, right? And when I took the second, third attempts also, I think second or third attempts, I still got a very good score in speaking. I think it's because of using this approach, this template, right? Or this structure. You can, without any hesitation, you can happily use it. And then how much time to speak for? You can speak anywhere in the range of 1.5 minutes to, a complete 2 minutes I don't recommend, right? So 1.5 minutes to 110 seconds. Let's say 90 seconds to 110 seconds is the good range, in my opinion. But if you have more comfort, you can speak until the end. Only thing is, if you're speaking until the end, you should have control to complete it before the audio ends. It's not a problem. The ideal, length, what you have to bear in your mind for your betterment is 90 seconds to, let's say 110 seconds. That's how it is. 1.5 minutes to 10 seconds less than 2 minutes is something which I recommend my test takers, right? So this is it. It's an important task for getting good marks in speaking, also good marks in listening. There are a lot of questions in the practice portal. Now I'll reveal the practice plan. The practice plan is very simple. I'm recommending my students to practice some 60 questions from summarized group discussion. If you cannot practice 60, at least you practice some 30, 40 questions. But 60 is a very good number. Let's say you have exam in 30 days. So the target is what? 60. 60 divided by number of days to exam. So 60 divided by 30, which means every day you practice 2 questions. It is great if you do it. All right. So there are good number of questions in the practice portal to practice. There's no depth of questions. I wish you good luck with the practice, and you will definitely rock if you follow all these things. See, thousands of PTE practice questions. Like essays, we have 101 essays. We are adding based on our exam experiences. Look at this, it has grammar. For example, you are lacking in subject-verb agreement. You can go and work on 5 levels of subject-verb agreement exercises. Nobody is lecturing you on grammar. You are simply learning based on the activities. Now, for improving vocabulary, we have vocabulary improvement section and listening spelling section. So if you want to improve the exam familiarity, we have 10 mock tests coming here. Each mock test, when you write, gives you score. It gives you insights where you're doing well, where you're not doing well, all that stuff. And you can even access your answers once you finish the exam. So all the materials, like the latest guides, templates, everything is mentioned here. And the entire course recording is available. Latest class recording is available, including my real exam experiences. So, right, all the basics. Now, this is my real exam experience, the exam that I took on January 26th, January 30, 2026 or something. So everything, it's a complete package. Don't hesitate to buy this. The subscription is starting from just, I think, 1,500 rupees in Indian currency for a week's subscription. So every feature is going to come in the 1 week subscription plan. I'll meet you with the new essay sample question and answer. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you find value in my channel, please do subscribe.